Hello and welcome to Ketterick Farms. We're back with another episode of the Minnesota Millennial Farmer map, and we've advanced time since our last episode, which was a live stream, and it is now mid-autumn and our crops are finally ready to harvest. I'm super excited to be diving into harvest, and so we've got to get some equipment out of the shed here and ready to head on out to the field. We are going to be starting with our bean harvest, so let's get this corn header out of the way. So with the minor inconvenience of the corn head out of the way, we're going to go ahead and pull the bean head out of the shed here. We're going to leave this on the header trailer because the first field of beans that we're going to do is field 6, which is on the other end of the map there. So we're going to need to trailer a few things out of the way here. I guess I kind of left that truck in the way a bit, so we're gonna pull the grain cart tractor on out of here. We'll pull this up and out of the way here as well, and then we're gonna go ahead and get that combine out of the shed here and warming up. I'm super excited to get this thing out in the field. We have not used this particular model in a while, I don't think, maybe even ever. I think I've used the 790, but never the 780. This is the John Deere S780 series by JHHG Modding. It is a very detailed mod. Definitely liking this mod. Alright, we are heading out to the field here. We already brought the truck with the header trailer out there. We had a bit of a technical malfunction with the camera on the way out here, so we lost a little bit of footage, but that's okay. We've got plenty of exciting things going on today, and the day is just getting started. Now we do have a few spots in this field that look like seasons did take a bit of a hit there. I know we were kind of looking at that at one point and wondering what was going to happen. So you can see these little splotches around the field from where seasons either didn't germinate or we didn't get enough rain, or there's any number of explanations for why that happens. That's okay, it'll affect our yield a little bit, but not a whole lot. So we are going to be using course play for this harvest. These are fairly large fields, and so we're going to go ahead and put 2 headland passes on here. We are going to do the headlands first, obviously, and let's go ahead and just see what the default generation looks like. Not bad, but we do want to do a couple of things here. So the first thing that we want to do is try one of these other headland corners modes, see if that makes any improvement here. Instead of up and down, we're going to do the lands mode here with 6 passes between the chunks that we're going to cut through, just to break the field up and give us a chance to get up and down a bit. We're going to start off here though, however, by hooking up our PTO and our hydraulic hoses. We do have manual attach on in this series, and then we might as well open up a little bit of this field here first, just to give us a spot to start at this starting point here. Now it looks like we're already averaging 135 bushels an acre, which is absolutely stunning for soybeans in my experience. But alas, that is farm sim yield mechanics for you. And then now that we've got this cleaned up just a little bit, we're going to say drive course. And while the 780 here gets a little bit of a start on things, we are going to go and grab the grain cart real quick and get that out here in the field. I am absolutely loving the look on this grain cart. It's something that I've been waiting to get out in the field. We've used the smaller version of this cart already out in the field before in our other series, but this will be the first time I think that I've gotten the tracked version out. This is the largest of these carts that's currently available. And so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing opened up. We've got an awesome electric tarp here, so it's gonna just open itself up automatically. Loving those animations. And we're not gonna bother with a course play course just yet. We're gonna unload this guy ourselves the first time here while we're on this grassy part of the headland. Once we get the field opened up here a little bit, we'll look into possibly running course play to do the unloading. If we come into the cab here, you can see that we do have a grain scale on the grain cart here. Unfortunately, it will be displaying in liters, but we are using the community extension mod here. And so you can see if we set our cruise control here, that our 6.2 miles per hour in the console there on the side matches our 6 miles an hour here on the display on the in-game speedometer. And so this is something that has annoyed me for a very long time, that it usually displays kilometers per hour. And so huge kudos and shout out to Thundar Modding for giving us something that I have been waiting for a long time, which is the ability to have our in-cab display match up with what speed we're really driving. Doesn't unfortunately help with my ability to drive and kart here. And so with the hill and everything else, we are going to jump out into third person mode just to get this 780 unloaded. We'll wait till we're around the curve here. I want to make sure that he's good and empty, and then let him finish opening up this field. Honestly, he probably could have made it all the way around with that big hopper, but we want to make sure that he can get all the way down there. I'm not sure what the other end of this field is going to look like, so I'm going to just run this back up by the truck real quick. We're going to take the road. No sense applying any unneeded compaction on our field at this point, especially with so little soybeans in the trailer itself. And so I was kind of curious how many bushels we were going to get out of this field, but it looks like we're yielding extremely well so far. And so I think we will need to get the semi-truck out here a little bit sooner than I anticipated. And so we might as well bring the trucks out here and get them parked up on the end of the field as well, just so that we're 100% ready to go as harvest continues. We don't have anything slowing us down. And so we're going to run this guy right up here where I would like to unload and park him there. Now, I couldn't resist. We are keeping the Millennial Farmer truck and the Millennial Farmer trailer here. It seemed fitting for this map. I'm not sure that there's any other situation that I would probably use this setup. And so we might as well use it now since they're here and available to us. So we're gonna go ahead and pull right in here through the bushes and put this guy right up alongside here. Now, unfortunately, this grain auger seems to be a mite aggressive here. I'm curious if I can adjust that any, but we're already emptied, so it doesn't look like there's much point. And I'm not yet gonna bother with truck number 2. I think once we get into corn harvest, we might want to run with multiple semis out in the field. I think at this stage, though, we're gonna be able to get away with one. I do need to get an auto drive network set up out here, but we've been having just a little bit of struggles with auto drive today. And so I think at least for field 6 here, we're just going to run the truck ourselves. We'll definitely be working on some better automation as we get into the bigger fields on harvest. However, this field is going to go, I think, pretty quick, even though we've only got the one combine running here. It's got a pretty wide header. We'll see, though. we may need to pick up some additional equipment here this season to help us out. Definitely as we get into corn, I think we're going to need a second combine. Otherwise, this is going to take a long time. Now, we are hitting 80% right now capacity, which is not a huge concern for us because we're going to get up here to the next headland pass relatively quick. And so we might as well jump out and grab our grain cart and attempt to get into position for this guy once he gets up here. So he's grabbing the next headland pass here. So we're going to go ahead and pull up alongside him because he looks really full. And I don't think he's going to make that corner. So this should give him enough capacity to make it to this corner and get turned around. And then we can finish unloading him on the go on the way down here. So I'm going to just go ahead and pull up ahead of him a bit. And it does look like he missed a lot less on the corner there. So this new turn mode that we've chosen does seem to be working a bit better than the previous one. We'll have to keep an eye on it though as we continue. And let's go ahead and get this guy unloaded so we can keep him moving. So we're still trucking right along here on our headland passes. We've managed to get quite a bit of soybeans into this trailer so far. We're sitting at 670 bushels already, which is doing mighty good. We're letting him continue filling into us just a little bit because as we saw last time, we got pretty full right as we were coming up to the headland passes. And I'd just like to make sure that he's going to be able to make it that far again. He should because he's covering a little bit less ground on the way back down there. But we'd like to be safe and make sure he's going to be able to make it. If I pop out of the tractor here and jump into the 780, you can see we've already worked 8.65 acres if you look in the lower right hand corner under the speedometer there. And so that's a running total. We can reset that, but you can also see our average bushels per acre drop down significantly for our soybeans to 123 bushels an acre. Still really good beans, but that happened because if we look at the precision farming map here, you can see we've got different areas where the yield is lower throughout the field. And that is a direct effect of all of these different soil types that we're running into as we hit different areas on the field, which is part of what I really like about the soil map on this particular map. Mapper's Paradise did a good job of actually trying to emulate the real-life soil conditions in the different areas of this part of the map. And so it's really exciting to see that that's bringing our overall average yield down. And so thanks to the community extension mod there, we're going to be able to see what our average yield is on this field, as long as we don't reset it before we're finished with the field. And that's going to be really cool just to see what the overall average ends up being. With that said, we've got a fair amount of soybeans here in the grain cart, so we might as well unload on the way back down here a little bit and see if we can get enough to maybe not top that semi off, but at least fill the front hopper. I can't recall exactly how many bushels those trailers hold off of the top of my head, but I suppose we could go look now. And so one of the other really cool things with this community extension mod that we're playing around with is it shows the bushels right here in the store now. And so it's 1,700 bushels for that trailer. I can't recall how many we had in the first time, but we're sitting at about 800 bushels right now again. And so we're going to run up there and toss these into the trailer just to see where that puts us. So far, this tractor is pulling this grain cart pretty well. We do have the extra weights on the frame up here in the front, And so that seems to be helping our steering a little bit. And I'm noticing we're loading this truck from the wrong side. And that's something that I should probably think about a little bit before next time. We'll probably bring the trucks in facing the other way so I can put the tarp on the outside of our load area rather than on the inside. With this particular grain cart, it doesn't seem to matter a whole lot. We've got plenty of elevation, and we're really shooting this beans out. Not only does it unload fast, it's got kind of an interesting animation here where it does go all the way to the ground, so you're seeing it through the trailer. Farm sim mechanics are sometimes pretty interesting. Now, I don't know where this combine's going to try and cut through the big part of the field, so I'm going to go ahead and just put this grain cart all the way over here, out of the way. And we're going to go jump back into this combine and follow along a little bit, I think, and see where he's going down the middle rows. We are at 69% of our total fill capacity, with 1,700 bushels being our target, a little bit above. Looks like we need another 600 bushels to bring out here and fill up our semi-truck. And so we're going to just jump into this combine here for a minute and figure out where we're going to cut through on this soybean field. Now, at 34% capacity, I'm pretty confident we're going to be able to make it all the way down to the other end of the field here before we need to unload. Well, unfortunately, it looks like we got full before we could get to the end here. If I hop in real quick, we are too full to make the attempt, so we better go grab that grain cart and get down here to unload. We came up very close. I really thought we were going to make it all the way to the end there. Unfortunate that we didn't, but now that we've got things opened up, I don't think it'll be too much of a problem, since now the pipe should always be pointing to the inside of this row. So we'll have plenty of ability to unload the combine both ways. And when we go to do the next cut through a few rows over there, we'll have a little bit shorter of a field length to worry about, so I'm really not too worried about it. I do have to give Courseplay credit, though. I really like when they added this cut-in mode so that the combine pulls over to make room so that the grain cart can get down here and unload it. A lot better than just sitting there and forcing us to either deal with it ourselves or drive over the crop manually. We're going to go ahead and get the grain cart out of the way here. I don't think we quite emptied him all the way, but I really want him to get going again here, and we can get turned around and unload him on the way back up the field, which will put us in the right position to then top off that semi and get it run back up to the bins, hopefully figuring out the most appropriate way to get those all loaded up. Luckily, we don't have to worry about the corn dryer in any capacity. We just got to get the beans right into the bin. So it looks like our combine is emptied now, so we're going to go ahead and run up to this semi with what we've got here in the grain cart. Hopefully it's going to be enough to top him off. And because I just can't stand to unload on the wrong side, I'd rather drive through a bush just to unload into our semi here. I'm really enjoying this unload speed, though, compared to other grain carts we've used. And I'm shocked we actually got it all into that semi. I was expecting to fill it up, but I don't think there's a whole lot left to go in there, so we can probably run the semi up here. I'm going to just get this grain cart pulled back over into the row here, since we are going to have to chase the combine down this row towards the other end here in a few minutes. But we want to go ahead and check on this combine, check on this semi real quick. Yeah, we are at 98%. I think it's best if we just go ahead and grab this truck and run it up to the farm. And since we're gonna run up to the farm, I think I am gonna record a courseplay course here real quick. Normally I would prefer to be able to use the auto drive network for running my grain trucks. However, we are having some issues with that today, so I'm gonna park this truck right here in between these lands, and I'm gonna go ahead and just record a quick course back up to the farm since we're going that way anyway, and that's gonna give us a few options for completing harvest here. Plus, honestly, I'm kind of curious to see how the courses and all of this have changed, if at all, with the latest version of courseplay. This will be our first harvest running 6.04 with combines and grain carts and such. And so it makes sense to put it through all of its paces right here, especially before we get into the big field, so that I know what options I have available to me. Now, we haven't put the silo system into courseplay mode yet, and so we are gonna probably stop right here while we're in the middle of the course recording. I think I can hit pause and hop out for a second, and then keypad 2 is going to activate courseplay mode for us, which essentially makes this silo work like any normal silo. But we are going to actually unload our trailer while we're here. Normally when I'm recording a courseplay course, I'll just keep driving and get the course recorded and then worry about dumping trucks, but I can see that our 780 is already full again, and so it's taken us a little bit longer than scheduled to put together this courseplay course. But with all of our grain emptied there, we're gonna get back on the road and just run this all the way back up to field 6 real quick. Luckily, field 6 is nice and close here, so this is not taking too long. And as we mentioned before, I'm gonna get turned around here so that the correct side of the truck is facing where we're gonna be unloading. And rather than drive through the bushes, we're gonna take the extra second to swing around here and come through the side of the field. We are gonna, though, try and get this back over here a little bit closer to the edge and hit stop. There we go. We're gonna do the first waypoint. We're gonna drive on when we get to 100%. We want to make sure we're completely full, and at least at this point in time, I really don't care what we've got inside the hoppers. So theoretically, this should work. I'm gonna see how he handles this. He should pull forward until the start point is right in the middle of the hopper. I was expecting in the middle of the trailer. Either way, let's jump on into our grain cart here. We'll go and unload this combine. And I have remembered why I hate using courseplay for trucks, is we've got the annoying overload point message here. So we'll go ahead here, get lined up. Oh, we are gonna unload on the go, it looks like. So I'm gonna get rid of this courseplay menu. We'll keep hoping that they're gonna add messages at some point, but it just hasn't happened, or the ability to control messages, I should say. Thanks to a pretty fast unload pipe, though. The 780 is already emptied out. So I'm gonna get swung around here real quick, see if I can get out of the way without getting run over. And then we're gonna grab just a little bit more soybeans out of this combine on the way back towards the truck, just to make sure he's got enough capacity to make the turn on the other end of the field here and give us some time to get him unloaded on the way back down this way. So here we go, that should suffice. And then let's go down here, and I think what we'll do is we're gonna actually try the courseplay overloader mode and see what we can do. See if we can remember how to set this up. It's been a little while since we used Courseplay to do something like this. We've got the first waypoint, the second waypoint, and we're not going to get too close with this grain cart because it's got a pretty long throw. We're going to put a waypoint right in here. I'm going to let the cart empty out though, and then we're going to just pull up and away, something like this, and stop. Now I should be able to just select what combine we want and hit drive course. Now we are kind of in the way though, because this combine's going to get to the end and need to turn to the right. I wasn't really thinking about that. I guess my thoughts were more that once we're finished with this next round, we won't really need to be down in this part of the field at all anymore. And so I'm going to zip back up and around here, and we're going to just wait until the 780 makes his round, and then we'll tell him to get driving. There we go, 780's on the next pass, so I'm gonna put this guy on drive mode. He was all set up and ready to go, and it looks like he's already finding a path out to the combine, so the combine must be over 50% already. And one thing I noticed with the newer versions of Courseplay is it has the combine slow down for pathfinding, make it easier for the grain cart driver to figure out where he needs to go. And I'm just looking at this offset. We're close, but not too close. However, I'd kind of like to give us a little bit more room. And so I'm gonna find out how to maybe give us a full meter extra. There we go. That's looking so much better. Just to make sure that we don't go running into him or anything crazy. And so with that, we're gonna leave this guy sitting here. I think he's good to go. If I jump in here, we stopped because we managed to empty out the combine here. So this has been a start to our soybean harvest here on the Minnesota Millennial Farmer map. I think we will try to do a live stream of the soybean harvest here as our next episode. And so hopefully if you're a regular viewer and you're watching this on the day it comes out, the plan is to do a live stream on Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. If not, then we will be streaming on Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I do try to stream twice a week now in the evenings, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m., different maps. So if you're looking to join in on the fun in one of my series in a live stream and interact with me, you can find me streaming on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily farm sim content. That's all for today. Kedrick out. So hopefully I can get this header out of the way. Oh no. It looks like the header trailers have stuck to each other. Yay, header trailers. One of my least favorite things in farm sim. Good times. Oh yeah, that's awesome. And I can't even pick it up with super strength because it's attached to the trailer now. Yikes.